We're watching WTHR, Channel 13, Indianapolis. Live from Indiana's news channel, with news for Indianapolis, Kokomo, Martinsville, and all of central Indiana. This is News Channel 13 at noon.
Father was knocked unconscious. He came to, found his wife laying on the floor, deceased. And the son was gone.
Indianapolis police searched this noon hour for the son accused of killing his mother and critically injuring his father. Good afternoon and welcome to your Indiana News Channel at noon for this Tuesday. I'm Linda Eltzroth.
And I'm Bruce Kopp. It happened on the city's east side early this morning. Detectives believe John Goforth attacked his parents after an argument broke out between father and son. Mark Spain joins us live from the neighborhood with the latest. Mark?
Bruce, police are still searching for that young man. A young man, they say, brutally beat his parents in this home on North Gladstone, a beating that ultimately claimed his mother's life. Now, the picture that people in this neighborhood paint of the suspect is one of complete terror. 20-year-old John Goforth is wanted for severely beating his 53-year-old father, Peter, and killing his 50-year-old mother, Eleanor, with a pipe after an argument erupted in the couple's near East Side home this morning.
Apparently his mother had just gotten up to prepare breakfast, and his father was getting ready for work, and for some reason he began beating them both. Father was knocked unconscious. He came to, he found his wife laying on the floor, deceased.
Neighbors and relatives describe Goforth as paranoid, always on the edge, crazy. They say that he recently began calling himself Jesus Christ and threatened to kill neighbors along with his parents.
Yeah, she was afraid. She didn't really know what he was going to do.
If anything was out of the ordinary, anything out of the ordinary, she did anything unusual, took too much time at the drugstore getting a prescription filled, anything, he would lose it. He was mad. Because I think he subconsciously thought that they were going to get him, and he hated the police. He absolutely hated the police.
Those who know John Goforth say the young man was acting so strange lately that he even began digging his own grave somewhere in these woods. Nobody in this neighborhood will rest easy until Goforth is safely behind bars.
She was very afraid because she was going to be by herself today, because Pete, he gets up and goes to work real early, and I asked her, did she have some place to go, and she said yes, but, you know, even with Pete there, it didn't stop him.
Police say John Goforth fled this area in his father's truck. It's a 1987 brown over gray GMC van. The license plate number is 93V5467. They believe he may be on his way to Kentucky or Cicero. Now, this is not the first time that John Goforth has been in trouble with the law. We understand that back in April of 1993, he was arrested for robbery, and in May of '92, he was arrested for criminal recklessness with a handgun. Peter Goforth, we understand, is in stable condition at Wishart Hospital in surgery at this hour, Bruce.
Mark, were there any hints that this would be coming? Did the parents file any complaints saying they were threatened by their son?
Not the parents, but we understand a neighbor across the street went to police last Thursday to file some complaints, and that they took them seriously. They were going to be handing out some flyers today, this morning, about John Goforth, telling them that he was unstable. They never had an opportunity to.
All right, and the search goes on for Goforth.
Yes.
All right, Mark Spain live, thanks very much. Well, detectives in Tipton, Indiana will travel to Kansas today to return an Indiana man suspected of murdering his own mother. Tipton police want to question 20-year-old Matthew Corey Weeks in the strangulation death of his stepmother, 46-year-old Christina. Authorities suspected the youngster when the woman was found dead in her home and the family car was discovered missing. Kansas police arrested Weeks following a high-speed chase when he failed to stop at a toll booth. Meantime, a Bartholomew County man awaits a court date in connection with the death of his grandmother. 21-year-old Alex Schutte is being held in protective custody by the Department of Corrections on preliminary charges of murder. And that's that story. Linda?
Well, Bruce, the Indianapolis woman who left her 4 children home alone in an apartment filled with garbage wants to take her case before a judge and jury. Helen Knott was arrested in January after authorities found her 4 children, ages 2 to 20, living in this garbage-strewn apartment. The older child is disabled. Knott claims she hired a neighbor to watch her children while she was at work and that the neighbor left them alone. Knott said she was only doing what she could do financially to keep up.
It get hard as hell trying to be mama and daddy and counselor teacher. I mean, all of that stuff all rolled up into one. And sometimes I get depressed. That's why sometimes I let the house go.
Helen Knott was supposed to be sentenced today in a plea agreement, but at the last minute she asked for a full trial to plead her case. She says the state is hiding her children from her. She has only seen one child since January.
A Virginia man who agreed to help test an experimental drug for Eli Lilly has died. The man was one of 3 people who suffered acute liver failure after taking the experimental Lilly drug for hepatitis B. The official cause of death is pending. A second patient also had a liver transplant, and a third is awaiting a donor organ. Of 15 patients given the hepatitis drug, 10 have suffered serious adverse reactions. Lilly has suspended clinical trials for the drug, and many of the testers are being treated with antitoxins to combat liver damage.
Well, Bruce, in other news, a proposal for Indiana's first ever thoroughbred racetrack is at this hour before the Indiana Horse Racing Commission, and our Bill Hussung reports live from the State House with the latest. Bill, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Linda. Carmel-based housing developer Paul Estridge is at this hour once again before the Indiana Horse Racing Commission. This time, he's proposing turning this Shelbyville site into a $22 million racetrack featuring both thoroughbred and harness racing. An earlier Estridge proposal asking that Shelbyville be the only track within 75 miles was rejected. The committee has already granted a license for harness racing in Anderson.
In our new application, our new partners are both standardbred and thoroughbred. They have a lot of thoroughbred experience, and they wanted to have thoroughbred racing if it was economically feasible.
Well, of course, I think that's going to be a disaster for both tracks. When, you know, this is a limited market. Now we're going to compete with 11 riverboats, and when we're going to compete with each other in the racing industry.
The Anderson developers are concerned because they plan to race between April and August. The Shelbyville developers today also said they would like to do some running between April and August. Anderson developer Carlisle says quite simply, a gambler is a gambler is a gambler, and if you have 2 tracks with thoroughbred and harness racing, you throw in riverboats, and there's just too much business for the gamblers. Reporting from outside the Indiana Government Center, I'm Bill Hussung.
Okay, Bill, we'll get the latest from you on what's happening down there live at 5 and on the News Channel at 6. Thanks, Bill.
Well, it's already early Wednesday morning in Japan, the start of the first day of the annual Economic Summit. The summit is focusing on expanding trade and pumping up global growth. President Clinton met this morning with the Japanese Prime Minister. The two are trying to reach a framework agreement to help reduce the U.S.'s $50 billion trade deficit with Japan.
The United States thinks it is absolutely critical for the imbalances to be reduced. We think it is in the interest of both countries for that to happen.
Japan says it will not commit to the specific targets. However, U.S. officials say the Japanese show signs of moving toward a new trade deal.
Well, Bruce, back in this country, residents of flood-ravaged Davenport, Iowa, find the flooding is only the beginning of their problems. The extensive damage to area businesses has cost hundreds of residents their jobs. The city is also losing vital tax revenue because its 2 riverboat casinos can't operate either. Crews from the Federal Emergency Management Agency will arrive tomorrow to assess further costs in the cleanup. Initial damage estimates are over $100 million.
And a local company is supplying sandbags to the Army Corps of Engineers fighting the floodwaters in Illinois. Last Friday, Cat's Bags shipped 2 truckloads of sandbags to Illinois communities flooded by the swollen Mississippi River. A spokesman for the company says they have no plans to send any more sandbags. Cat's also supplies sandbags to Indiana communities when the flooding happens here.
Well, coming up next on your Indiana News Channel, Chuck Lofton will let us know how much longer this heat wave will stick around.
And we'll tell you about a new step to replace I-step testing. It's running into some snags, and we'll tell you what it means for Indiana students as well, coming up here on your Indiana News Channel at noon.
Ray Skillman Ford, Indiana's newest and fastest growing Ford dealer, is having a one-price take-your-pick sale on Ford T-Birds and Aerostar vans. Ray Skillman Ford doesn't have 1 or 2 T-Birds and Aerostar vans to choose from. We have over 25 loaded with equipment and in the most popular colors for only $14,900 plus freight. One price, no hassle. Ford T-Bird or Aerostar van, only at Ray Skillman Discount Ford, where we stock them deep and sell them cheap. Just 2 miles south of the Greenwood Park Mall on US 31.
Catch the fever with Major League Baseball home videos, including Now It Can Be Heard. You won't believe your ears as host Tommy Lasorda takes you behind the scenes to hear the chatter, strategies, and confrontations.
What? He don't want to walk you. The rules are the same, but I know you don't know the rules, so it doesn't matter.
Now It Can Be Heard, the sounds of baseball, and other Major League Baseball home videos are now available at Kmart.
This Family Works moment is brought to you by the Women's Hospital of Indianapolis.
Sometimes going off to school can be kind of lonely. And if mom or dad works, it's a long day until everyone is together again. A day full of short stories, long meetings, and complicated numbers that don't always add up. Despite a busy schedule, there's time to pack a little surprise and share a special feeling even when you're apart. Taking a moment to care. It's why the family works.
Womankind. From your first date to your first job and your first child. From your second honeymoon to your first grandchild. Your health is important to you. And we think you should know it's important to us too. Commitment has a new name. The Women's Hospital of Indianapolis.
Chuck Lofton's forecast is backed by AccuWeather and carries the seal of approval from the National Weather Association.
Well, we were saying earlier the swimming pools were probably a popular place today.
I would like to have the swimming pool concession all week this week.
That's probably the only place where it is actually wetter than the air quality is right now.
Well, or yeah, probably so, because if you do walk outside, you'll be able to squeeze your shirt
it's the sauna out there.
in about 2 minutes. Dew point real high, Bruce and Linda. Good afternoon to you. Bruce and Linda mentioned hot, and you know it's going to stay hot all week long, so not a really eventful week ahead. If you're a little sticky, we have something for you to cool you down. Take a look at this videotape. This comes to us from Echo Lake in Colorado. Do you see what's falling? Snowflakes. Snowflakes yesterday. Echo Lake, in case you're wondering, the lady with the shorts and it's snowing, is about 30 miles west of Denver, and it's about a mile higher than the Mile High City. So I hope that cools you down. If not, not much I can do for you. Those folks are probably going to get a good business at the car wash here near downtown today, because we could get a stray thunderstorm, but really not much of one. You can see those flags there blowing. We have a strong wind and not much rain. The radar picking up a little bit of light rain near Newcastle. In fact, as we zoom in just southeast of Newcastle, you can see a shower, but most of the rain we had earlier this morning has played itself out. Out at the airport right now, it is warm, 83 with that southwesterly breeze at 12, the barometer steady at 30 even, and really we have a Bermuda high situation, so it's going to be hot as a firecracker here all week long, so I guess best we get used to it. And of course we have these tips that we want to always pass along to you. Fluids, yes, like water, Gatorade, same for shade, but a big no in this type of weather to real avid exertion, a lot of exercise or alcohol. That's very bad when you have these types of very humid conditions, and it's going to stay this way all week long because of this Bermuda high just off the coast, sending forth this southwesterly flow of air. Now really, it's not that much hotter than normal, but when you combine the humidity, that's why it feels oppressive out there. In fact, our highs today will be 5 to 10 degrees above the norm for this time of year, and that's about it. Notice the huge thunderstorms in Kansas and Missouri today. There is a chance now with this front lifting that there could be some instability, and late this afternoon we could see something. Tomorrow, perhaps the same type of situation, though for the most part it's going to be dry. Forecast rest of the day goes like this: warm and humid with sun and clouds. Yes, a thunderstorm is possible later with a high of 88 tonight. We'll drop down to 72. That's it on a sticky evening with a thunder boomer around. And tomorrow, almost a carbon copy of today, though a tad bit warmer with a high of 90. And I believe that we will get close, if not hit 90, just about every day this week once we get past today, all the way through to Saturday and Sunday. And Bob will go more in detail on that tonight live at 5.
Okay, thanks, Chuck.
Well, let's check what's happening on our afternoon news exchange from papers across the state. The Crawfordsville Journal Review reports the new enhanced 911 system is set to go online this Thursday. Dumping fines headline the Kokomo Tribune. K&J Investments faces up to $25,000 a day if it does not stop dumping trash in Tipton County and clean up the dumping site. And the Columbus Republic reports the Chautauqua of the Arts will make its first appearance in Columbus this fall. In the past, the Chautauqua drew more than 100,000 people a year to Madison.
Well, there are lights, cameras, but no action yet as crews get ready to begin shooting the movie Blue Chips in Frankfort. Preparations have been underway for weeks at the Frankfort High School. The fictional Western University Dolphins will battle IU and the other college teams. Shooting begins tomorrow, but the Made for Hollywood games begin Thursday. Bobby Knight and Shaquille O'Neal play themselves. Nick Nolte plays a coach trying to recruit a team of blue chip players. All 4 game nights are sellouts tonight. In the news channel at 6, Chris Provitt shows you what's happening as Hollywood comes to Clinton County.
And up next here on your Indiana News Channel at noon, it's the season for garage sales.
We'll have tips from an expert on how to cash in on your garage sale when your Indiana News Channel at noon returns.
What makes Benihana Benihana? So what makes Benihana Benihana?
Come see for yourself. It's my treat.
It's Manager's Treat Month at Benihana. Come in for special values.
So come on in. It's my treat.
It's the story that had an entire courtroom holding their breath. When Melignato murdered his girlfriend, he took pictures. Then he hid the rolls of film. There wasn't enough evidence for a jury to convict him, so they let him off scot-free. But now, even though the film has been found, the courts cannot allow him to be retried. Murder and 100 frames of horror on hard copy.
Tuesday at 5:30 on WTHR.
Why pay over $300 a year for disposables? Get daily or extended wear lenses for $39.98 or 2 pair of tinted lenses for $99.98. Only at Dr. Talbot's.
If you need brakes, if you need shocks, if you need front-end work, your life doesn't have to come to a halt. Sears Skilled Service Specialists are here before you go to work in the morning until late at night. We'll repair your brakes on Saturdays and Sundays, too. Quality service, reasonably priced, ready when it's promised. Your life revolves around your car. We make sure our lives revolve around you. Sears Tire and Auto Center. Driven to satisfy.
Well, no doubt when you look in the back of the newspaper ads, every day you'll find a garage sale listed.
That's right, you'll see the signs around your neighborhood. Well, today our focus report talks about garage sales. They are a popular way to cash in on items you no longer want or need. You'll find everything from clothing to housewares at most garage sales. More Hoosiers are turning to garage sales following the trend toward recycling and bargain hunting.
Our phone lines are open this noon to take your calls. Any questions you have, the number to call is 1-800-553-5395. And with us this noontime is Flory Kitchell, an author and expert on garage sales. Good to have you here, Flory.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, tell us, since you're an expert, what's the first thing we should do if we want to have our own garage sale?
Well, the first thing you need to do is decide what you're going to put in your sale. That's very important. I often recommend in the book that people gather things all year round if they can and take a spot in their basement or in a closet and put things that they know that they're going to want to sell come the time for their sale.
There's such a wide array of things that can gather around the house. Are there certain things that automatically, you know, this goes in the garage sale while this pretty much somebody would not want that?
Oh, absolutely. There's definite categories of things that people will buy at garage sales. Housewares, toys, electronics, those are all great selling items.
Do you do better if you have a garage sale on your own, or do these neighborhood garage sales work to your benefit?
Well, you can either do it really both ways. I've had success both ways. With the neighborhood sales, you split the cost of the advertising, so that costs less, whereas with your own sale, you're responsible for the whole thing. On the other hand, you have more people tend to come when there's a group of sales in an area.
Let's take our first call of the afternoon for Flory Kitchler. Mark of Seymour. Go ahead with Seymour. Go ahead with your call, Mark. Hello, Mark, are you there? Go ahead.
We apologize. We've been having some trouble with our phone lines here.
Let me ask you a question about a lot of people going into garage sales don't know how to price items. Some have great expectations that they're going to make a great deal of money, but they've come to find the customers coming in are looking for the cheapest price available. How do you handle the negotiating that goes on?
Well, there's several ways of doing that. I recommend in the book that a good rule of thumb is to price it at about 10% of retail. I think one of the big mistakes people make is saying, well, I paid $20. My gosh, I should get at least 15 for that. Well, it doesn't really work that way because, as you said, people come looking for bargains, and they expect that, and you have to be able to give a little bit in negotiating on your price. Nothing is ever a final price. So you have to sort of build in a little cushion and be able to come down when the situation warrants.
Okay, we are talking with Flory Kitchell this noontime about garage sales, and we'll hopefully take some of your calls when we come back after this.
Visit one of the area's largest and finest flea markets this weekend at the fairgrounds. Stewart Promotions presents the Indiana Flea Market. Located in the air-conditioned expo hall, this show has it all. Over 300 booths and dealers from many states. Literally thousands of items, both old and new. Shop for antiques, jewelry, glassware, furniture, crafts and craft supplies. Something for everyone. The Indiana Flea Market runs Friday through Sunday. Show hours Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5. Admission is absolutely free.
I go where I can pay for one pair of glasses and get the other free.
I go to Sight and Save where I get top quality glasses at everyday low prices.
I paid $130 for this pair.
These were $39 and I got a second pair for $29.
But my second pair was free.
And I got Sight and Save's 30-day total satisfaction guarantee.
So I paid more for my free glasses.
Do you want Sight and Save's address?
Sight and Save's unmatched buying power means top quality eyewear at sensible prices. Sight and Save Eyewear. It's just plain common sense.
You too can be a Crime Stopper. More than 600 crime suspects know it works. Call toll-free 800-92-ALERT or in Metro Indianapolis at 637-2323.
Some ice creams are easy to scoop because there aren't enough good things in them to slow you down. But homemade brand ice cream takes a little longer to scoop because you keep running into huge chunks of real Oreo cookies. Big roasted pecans. And the very things that make it extra slow make it extra good. Homemade brand ice cream. If it scoops this slow, it has to be homemade.
Shiny Sinks Plus. Have you ever wondered what the plus is? Maybe it's because it's the only liquid cleanser with lime removers. Or it could be the fact that it works in both the kitchen and the bath. Maybe it's because the mild abrasives don't scratch, but they sure do clean those tough stains. It could be that everyday low price or the fresh citrus scent. Well, whatever it is, it's great. Try Shiny Sinks Plus.
Welcome back to your Indiana News Channel at noon. Today we're talking about garage sales, and if you have a question, give us a call at 1-800-553-5395.
This noon we are talking with Flory Kitchell, an author and expert on garage sales. We got another caller on the line, John up in Lafayette. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, how you doing?
All right.
I was wondering, what kind of knick-knack are money makers, and how would you price them?
Well, the important classifications or the best sellers would be your housewares and electronics. And again, a good rule of thumb, if you're not sure, is go with about 10% of the retail price. That should get you by in most situations.
Let's go to Debbie in Indianapolis. Go ahead with your question, Debbie.
Hi, I was wondering what the most inexpensive and the best way to advertise would be.
The most inexpensive way, of course, is to make your own sign and put it up in the nearest intersection, but that is not the most effective way of advertising. You really need to put a classified ad in your local newspaper. That is the best way. Most dedicated garage sale people will pretty much scan those ads when they're planning their day. So, and especially if you can share the cost of that ad with another person, it will not cost you very much at all, and it's very, very effective to get people into your sale.
Okay, let's go up to Noblesville now, and Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
Hi, I was wondering how much, why electronics make more money than toys, because if a lot of people have more kids, they could have their toys, They have kids, and if other people buy it and they have kids, why should that make more money than the others?
Well, again, it depends on volume. If you have a lot of toys in your sale and maybe just a few electronic items, you can make up on volume. You can make up your money there.
Let's go to Betty in Jamestown. Betty, go ahead with your question.
Okay. I was just wondering what the length of time, how many days it would be best to have a garage sale.
It depends on your own personal situation, but I would recommend 2 because if you go with 1 and it rains that day, rain can very much affect the traffic that comes into your sale. So I would go with 2 days.
All right, here's the book from Flory Binford Kitchler. It's called Cash In on Your Garage Sale, and it's available where?
At Borders Bookshop and at Chapters Bookshop here in Indianapolis.
And it's a very good little book, it looks like, too. Everything you need to know. Flory, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck, everyone, with your garage sales. Up next on your Indiana News Channel, unusual way that some kids are cooling off during these dog days of summer.
Plus, we'll get an update on the AccuWeather forecast from Chuck when we come right back.
Why should your choice of contraceptive change with your age and lifestyle?
We've been together almost 2 years. I don't have to worry about AIDS, right?
I hear estrogen therapy helps with menopause, but are there long-term effects?
Every woman has questions about her body, her sexuality, her health, and her happiness.
Why is my mom so moody? She's insecure 1 minute and ordering me around the next.
This book has the answers. Every Woman's Health. Written for women, about women, by leading women doctors.
I think I found small lumps in my breast. I'm scared. Is it cancer?
After all, who would know a woman's body, moods, feelings, and fears better than another woman? Every Woman's Health, from Time Life Special Editions, gives you the latest medical findings on everything from breast cancer, pregnancy, and PMS to liposuction, osteoporosis, and job stress.
I'm 36, and I'm pregnant. Do I need amniocentesis?
Call this number now, toll-free, and try Every Woman's Health for 10 days, absolutely free. If you like it, the book can be yours for just 3 installments of $8.99. Order now and receive free Every Woman's Guide to Healthier Eating, a valuable companion book filled with important nutritional ideas and information. Every Woman's Health, written for women, about women, by leading women doctors, answers some of your most personal questions, helps you find greater peace of mind. Order today from Time Life Special Editions.
At my age, how often should I have a mammogram?
To order Every Woman's Health, call 1-800-351-9070. Examine Every Woman's Health free for 10 days. Keep it for 3 payments of just $8.99. Order now and you'll also receive Every Woman's Guide to Healthier Eating as a free bonus gift. Call 1-800-351-9070.
Well, Hoosiers are in for plenty of warm weather days, but did you know that it can be dangerous to mix medications and the summer heat, especially if you're exercising? Coming tonight, live at 5, the experts at Consumer Reports will look at how some over-the-counter drugs can put you at risk of heat illness. That's tonight on the News Channel at 5 o'clock.
One last update of the forecast now with Chuck.
You sure you want it?
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what it is. All this week, pretty much, huh?
All this week, but I'll tell you what, I'm getting used to it. And maybe a lot of other people are very strange like I am as well. Going to hit 88 degrees today with a lot of humidity. Yes, probably the rest of the week. Here's a look at our map for today, our high temperature map. And I know that some of you will hit 90. I'd say basically from Greenwood on south, you'll hit 90, but here in the city, probably about 88. We're at 83 now. Could hit 90 just about every day this week. Bob will have a very warm, steamy AccuWeather extended forecast for you coming up tonight live at 5.
All right, thanks, Chuck.
Well, with these temperatures on the rise, here is an idea on how to cool off. Some innovative kids in Tennessee have found a way to help beat the heat. They have created their own backyard water park with a water slide and watering hole designed for the young and the young at heart. It's just another inexpensive way to help you stay cool during these hot and muggy days. Boy, that looks good.
It sure does look good.
Watch out for the possible head trauma there.
I hope the landing's not too tough. Well, that'll do it for this Tuesday edition of your Indiana News Channel at noon. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Stay tuned next for John and Lisa. We'll see you tomorrow.
If you're feeling kind of average, if you think you're looking plain, then show your true colors. You'll never be the same. Soft Rays, custom eyes, lenses, green, aqua, and blue. Every time you change colors, it's a whole new you.
Why pay over $300 a year for disposables? Get daily or extended wear lenses for $39.98 or 2 pair of tinted lenses for $99.98. Only at Dr. Tavel's.
Soft Rays. Custom eyes colors make your pale eyes bright. Let everybody see you in a whole new light.
1 hour contacts without the 1 hour price.
WTHR Bank One and Kroger proudly present the top of the class of 1993.
It's time for sharing memories, for tears, for having fun. A time for being proud of all you've done. You're the top of the class this year.
We salute these students who have achieved excellence and congratulate all graduates of 1993.